The hour is not random. The date is not a coincidence. July 12, 2025 has been marked by the voice of the Almighty. This is not just a moment. It is a divine turning point. The heavens have issued a decree, and the shaking will begin. What was hidden will be revealed. What was delayed will be released. Everything familiar may be disrupted, but not without divine purpose. God is not silent. He is speaking, and when He speaks, everything must respond. This is the call to awaken, to prepare, to align. Because when God says everything changes, everything will. There are no coincidences in the calendar of heaven. What may appear random to man is intricately woven by the hand of God. Every season, every encounter, every delay, every advance, none of it is without divine intention. Divine appointments are not scheduled by human hands. They are orchestrated in the throne room of eternity. Long before you took your first breath, long before your name was known on earth, your moments were written in the scrolls of heaven. Heaven's clock is never late, and it never misses a moment. God has already positioned people, places, and situations to intersect with your life at exactly the right time. But it takes spiritual eyes to discern them. So often, people misread divine appointments as interruptions or even setbacks. They pray for breakthroughs and miss the answer because it doesn't come packaged in the way they expected. The detour that frustrated you may have been the very path God ordained to protect you or realign you. The person you met by chance may have been an assignment from heaven. The rejection you faced might have been the redirection God used to set you up for something greater. When your life is surrendered to God, nothing is wasted. Every encounter carries the potential of destiny. Every delay may carry divine strategy. We are living in a time when God is reactivating the spiritual sensitivity of His people. The days of casual Christianity are over. He is calling His sons and daughters to walk in step with His Spirit, to discern His movement not by what they see in the natural, but by what they hear in the secret place. Divine appointments are often disguised in ordinary clothes. They come in moments that seem routine, wrapped in the daily details of life. Yet behind those ordinary scenes, God is writing eternal stories. He is setting the stage for transformation. That's why we must live alert, because we are walking in sacred intersections. There are people you are meant to meet, places you are destined to go, doors that have your name on them. And none of these can be orchestrated by striving. They are activated through surrender. When you yield your calendar to God, you step into supernatural timing. Things accelerate, things align. What you could not make happen in 10 years can unfold in a single day because heaven has ordained it. When you understand that divine appointments are never accidental, you stop living in fear of missing out. You realize that if your heart stays aligned with God, nothing truly meant for you can pass you by. At times, divine appointments will stretch you. They may take you into places you feel unprepared for. That's because God doesn't schedule these moments based on your current qualifications. He schedules them according to your calling. He knows who you are becoming. He knows what He placed in you before you were formed in the womb. Every divine appointment is a reminder that your life is not random. It is not a series of disconnected events. It is a living story authored by the Creator Himself. He is ordering your steps. He is aligning your path. Even when you can't see the full picture, He's already gone ahead of you. He knows the end from the beginning, and He is bringing people across your path, opening doors at the precise time, and even closing others to guide you. There is a rhythm to His plan, a cadence to His calling. And as you walk with Him, you'll begin to see that His appointments are not just significant, they are sacred. The more you recognize them, the more you'll live with purpose, with focus, with urgency, knowing that heaven's timing is never off and every divine appointment has eternal weight. There comes a moment in divine timing when the hidden must come to light. What has been veiled in shadows, concealed beneath the surface, or buried under layers of deception will no longer be able to remain hidden. God is a revealer of secrets. He does not forget what is done in darkness. He waits for the appointed time to bring it into the light. There is a season when the veil is torn, when truth confronts falsehood, when motives are exposed, and when the masks that people wear can no longer endure the presence of His glory. The hour is coming and has already begun, when what was covered will be uncovered, and what was whispered in secret will be shouted from the rooftops. This is not about condemnation, it is about revelation. God is not exposing to shame, He is unveiling to cleanse, to heal, and to restore. For too long, things have been hidden behind religious performance, political power, and personal agendas. But the eyes of the Lord have never looked away. He has watched the proud disguise themselves as righteous, the greedy clothe themselves in generosity, and the broken pretend to be whole. But He is removing the coverings, the false coverings of culture, the facades of systems, the pretenses of people. They are all beginning to unravel under the weight of His presence. Because when the true light shines, the false cannot remain. In this season, there will be sudden revelations. Hidden motives will be exposed. Secret sin will surface. Long-held lies will be shattered. Those who have manipulated with charm and hidden behind influence will find that influence crumbling under the hand of God. Those who have built platforms on sand will see those structures collapse. But this unveiling is not only about judgment, it is also about vindication. Many have been silenced. Many have been misrepresented. Many have suffered in silence while the truth remained hidden. But the God who sees is also the God who reveals. He will bring justice. He will lift up those who were cast down. He will raise the hidden and humble voices that were once ignored. This is also personal. It is not only systems and leaders being exposed, it is hearts being searched. God is shining His light on every place we have hidden our pain, our doubt, our sin, and even our potential. He is unveiling not just what is wrong, but what has been buried that is right. Some of you have hidden dreams you gave up on, callings you buried beneath fear, gifts you were afraid to embrace. But God is uncovering those too. What was dormant is being awakened. What you thought was lost is being restored. What was concealed by fear is now being drawn out by fire. And as He unveils, He invites you into alignment, because the unveiling is not meant to expose you to the world, but to position you in His purpose. This moment is both a warning and a promise. It is a warning to those who think they can continue hiding behind appearance while ignoring alignment. God will not bless what He did not build, and He will not protect what He has not purified. But it is also a promise to those who have remained faithful, to those who refused to compromise, even when others did, to those who stayed pure while others played games. Your time is coming. Your vindication is near. The unveiling will not just expose corruption, it will reveal righteousness. It will separate the genuine from the counterfeit, the holy from the profane, and the called from the pretenders. He is pulling back the curtain on this hour. Heaven is watching. The earth is groaning, and the Spirit is moving swiftly. Be ready. Be humble. Be alert. Because what was concealed, whether it be corruption, calling, or covenant, will now be unveiled by the hand of God. There is a divine order to breakthrough. Acceleration does not come simply because you desire it. It comes because you are positioned for it. Before God moves you forward, He aligns you. Before He opens the door, He ensures you're ready to walk through it. This is not a delay, it is preparation. Many cry out for speed, for promotion, for sudden miracles, but what they need first is alignment. Heart alignment, purpose alignment, character alignment. God is not interested in giving acceleration to someone who is out of step with His will, because unchecked speed outside of divine order leads to destruction. In the natural world, a vehicle cannot accelerate properly if its wheels are misaligned. No matter how powerful the engine, if the structure is off, it will veer off course. The same is true spiritually. You can be gifted, anointed, even full of vision, but if your life is out of alignment, if your heart is prideful, your relationships are broken, your motives are impure, or your priorities are scattered, then the very speed you're asking for would damage you instead of elevate you. That is why God, in His mercy, often holds you back until your alignment is complete. It may feel like a pause, but in heaven's design, it's progress. Alignment begins in the secret place. It is where the inner life is reordered according to heaven's blueprint. It's where the loudness of the world is silenced and the whisper of God is heard again. In this place, ambition is surrendered to assignment, noise is replaced by clarity, and striving gives way to submission. Alignment is not just behavior, it's posture. It's when your heart bows before God and your desires yield to His voice. You can't fake alignment. You can't manipulate divine timing. You can only prepare for it by letting the Spirit do a deep work within you. Some people have wondered why they keep hitting invisible ceilings. They sense they were made for more, but more keeps slipping out of reach. The answer is not always in pushing harder, it's in surrendering deeper. Sometimes you must stop chasing open doors and start inviting God to close the ones that don't belong in your story. True alignment may involve loss. You may have to walk away from connections, opportunities, or habits that once felt familiar but now feel heavy. God will remove what you're willing to release, not to punish you, but to prepare you, because the space you clear in obedience becomes the runway for acceleration. There is a divine rhythm that emerges when you walk in alignment. Suddenly, what once felt impossible becomes effortless. Favor follows obedience. Acceleration follows alignment. You no longer have to force your way forward because the wind of the Spirit begins to carry you. It's not about hype. It's about harmony with God's heart. And in that place of alignment, there is peace even in the stretch, confidence even in the unknown, and joy even in the waiting. The enemy's tactic is to rush you into premature movement. He wants you to jump before you're ready, to chase speed without strategy, to confuse movement with progress. But God is not in a hurry. He is in control. He doesn't rush what He loves. He perfects it. He positions it. And when the moment is right, the acceleration comes not by your effort, but by His breath. What took others years will happen in a moment, not because you are better, but because you are aligned. So don't despise the season of realignment. Don't curse the quiet moments where nothing seems to be moving. They are sacred, they are necessary. Because once alignment is achieved, acceleration becomes inevitable. When heaven sees a life in perfect rhythm with God's heartbeat, it doesn't delay, it propels. And in that moment, things shift suddenly, doors open rapidly, and what once felt far is brought near, not by your striving, but by divine momentum. Before God moves things into place, He often allows them to be shaken. The shaking is not a sign of absence, but of presence. It is not an indication that something is wrong, but that something is being made right. Everything that can be shaken is being shaken, not to destroy, but to reveal, not to break you, but to wake you. The shaking is divine disruption, a holy disturbance that prepares the ground for transformation. So the shaking is divine disruption, a holy disturbance that prepares the ground for transformation. Before the shift comes, the shaking comes first. Because what is not anchored must fall away, and what is false must be exposed. The foundations must be tested before the next level can be built. Shaking unsettles the surface, but reveals what lies beneath. It exposes the cracks in structures that appeared solid. It brings to light the hidden compromises, the unspoken fears, the idols we didn't know we were holding. When God allows a shaking, it is because He's preparing a greater glory, a deeper alignment, a more powerful shift. But the shaking is uncomfortable. It disrupts routines, interrupts comfort, and removes the illusion of control. And yet, within that discomfort lies the invitation to let go of what no longer belongs, to release what cannot remain, and to cling to what is unshakable. Many pray for a shift, but resist the shaking. They want new territory, but don't want old roots disturbed. They want promotion without pruning, advancement without adjustment, but in God's order, the shaking is not optional. It is necessary. The greater the shift, the deeper the shaking. Because what God is about to build cannot rest on compromised foundations. He must tear down before He builds up. He must unsettle before He establishes. You cannot carry the next without releasing the last. The shaking prepares the vessel for the shift. It empties what needs to be emptied so the new can be poured in. Sometimes the shaking looks like loss. Relationships end, positions change, doors close, familiar patterns collapse. But what feels like loss may be divine alignment. God is shaking off what no longer fits your assignment. He is stripping away what you've outgrown. He is removing what would hinder the next level. And while it hurts in the moment, you will look back and see that it was mercy. Because the shaking is not against you, it is for you. God does not shake what He has rejected. He shakes what He has chosen, what He intends to use, what He is preparing to elevate. If you find yourself in a season where everything feels unstable, don't panic. Lean in. Ask not, why is this happening to me? The shaking isn't random. It's targeted. It's strategic. God is purifying motives, realigning hearts, exposing weak foundations, and strengthening what will last. What you thought was falling apart may actually be falling into place. What looked like destruction may be construction in disguise. The dust is not the end, it is the evidence that God is at work. And when the shaking has done its work, when the idols have fallen, when the distractions have been removed, when the heart has been humbled, then comes the shift. The doors you couldn't open begin to open. The things that were delayed begin to move.